It's Enrico Pallazzo!
Utah, give me 2.
Pallazzo!
What is up, everybody? Welcome in Pallazzo Podcast, 2 L's, 2 Z's. Your boy, Mike Virginia, joined with me today, as always, my good buddy, Britton Allan, 2 T's, 2 L's. Britton, happy Friday to you, my friend.
Happy Friday, Mike V. It's so great to see you. How are you doing, my friend? It's been too long. We haven't talked in a while.
I know, right? It's Friday. I'm ready to talk some baseball. We keep creeping into draft season here, man. I got a draft tomorrow night in the Mike Virginia Invitational League #1, first draft of the year on my Yahoo platform. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And yeah, man, I know you've been doing some leagues as well, right?
I have been drafting like crazy. It's a problem. I've never drafted this much in my life. I'm 48. Mike V is 32. So he doesn't understand what a midlife crisis looks like. So he probably thinks like motorcycles, secretaries, like boats. For me, I'm from Jackson, Tennessee. Nothing that exciting. It is drafting fantasy NFBC baseball 50s. I've been going crazy. And not only that, we were in a draft together, Mike V, where you were a bully. You were bullying other members about draft picks, a bull in a china shop, wagging your tail around, big dog. Woo, woo. Love it.
That's right.
I've never seen Mike V so assertive and angry before.
That's right.
So, but we'll get into that later. In all seriousness, it was a Pallazzo draft and hold league. Mike V was in it. I was in it. A bunch of our friends were in it, and Ben Chase was in it. And Mike V, I looked at the draft today. Your team is awesome. Congrats.
Thank you, dude. I was actually
I'm not just saying that.
Like,
I wanted to make fun of you.
I was expecting that. I was expecting like your team sucks.
I wanted to. I really loved what you did.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate it.
That's no fun, but I did. But we'll get to that later. Sorry, go ahead.
No, all good. I appreciate it, dude. Yeah. So for those of you guys who have not registered yet, make sure that you register for the Pallazzo Podcast Invitational. We are trying to get in as many leagues as we possibly can. Britt and I and Ben, we're all in League 1, and we're all in the league together. We're trying to get 6 leagues going, so make sure that you guys sign up. The link will be in the description down here in the video if you're watching this later, but it's also in our Discord as well, or you can just hit any of us up on Twitter. We're happy to send you the link. It's $50, like Britton said. It's a draft and hold league. It's on NFBC, which means, Britton, sometimes we have to alert the fans of this, right? There is no in-season waivers. There is no in-season trades. There is no, oh, crap, my closer got hurt. I'm going to put a bid in for his replacement. No. It's deep rosters, and you just set your lineup and forget it. That's how it works, right? So whatever team you draft, that's the team you got. So if your whole team gets injured, Britton, safe to say you're shit out of luck.
Truth. But everybody's in the same boat. It's a level playing field. Like, you draft who you want to draft. You want to draft 5 catchers? Draft 5 catchers. You want to draft 30 starting pitchers? Draft 30 starting pitchers. You get to do whatever you want. Whoever you want to draft in 50 rounds to make it through a Major League Baseball season of 162 games, you do it, brother. You can draft J.J. Weatherhall. You can draft J.R. Ritchie for the Braves. You can draft whoever you want, but it's 5x5 roto. And at the end of the day, at the end of 162 games, may the best man win. But that's why it's so much fun. Injuries are going to happen, just like fantasy football. Your number 1 pick goes down, and you're probably not going to win. That's a fact. But in baseball, it's a little bit different because it's not 16 or 18 games, whatever they play now. It's 162. So it's a lot of fun. And if you love baseball, fantasy baseball, NFBC is the way to go. But Mike V, I see a lot of our friends on the chat. Jordan, Bizza, Rizza, Jizza, what up, my friend?
That's right.
He was in that draft. He was in that draft with us when you were hazing people.
That's right. He was
bullying people.
Utah, give me 2.
That's right. Pallazzo Podcast, 2 L's, 2 Z's. Mike Virginia. Follow me at _ Mike VA and follow Britton at Britton Allan, 2 T's, 2 L's. Michael Govier is not with us today. We are actually going to do a Sunday show. So today's show, we wanted to do a little Q&A and kind of keep it light around here. If you guys have questions, feel free to drop them in the live chat. Britton and I will try to help out as best we possibly can. Now, a lot of you are probably asking, well, what can I possibly have questions about? It could be about draft prep. It could be about dynasty. It could be about who we like and who we don't like, our fades, our sleepers, whatever it may be. Feel free to get in the live chat, or you can plant your flag already, and it's beginning of February. If you have a bold take, we'd love to hear it. So thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it. Britton appreciates it. And so does Michael Govier, who cannot be here with us, but he will be with us on Sunday. So make sure you guys tune into that as well. I believe we're going to try to do that around the noon time. Is that right, Britton?
That's right around noon. Now Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday.
That's right.
And I know Mike V is a big football guy. I am not, but I know what I know. And I know, like the Ravens in 2000, the best defense wins. Forget quarterbacks. Forget coaches. Oh, God. Forget coaches. They don't matter. What matters is defense. And what I know, Mike V, it's imprinted in my brain ever since all those fools told me in 2000 that, oh, the Giants just won 41-7 and they're going to beat the Ravens. I said, no, sir. And I went to the plasma shop and I got the plasma because I didn't have any money. And I gave my plasma to somebody and they gave me $100. And I said, put it on the Ravens.
There you
That's
go,
what's
dude.
going to happen. It's going to be the Seahawks. This isn't the Legion of Boom. This is the Legion of Doom.
It is. That's right. I'm with you on the Seahawks, dude.
I love Mike Vrabel. I'm so happy the Patriots did well. It makes me laugh that the Titans fired Mike Vrabel because he was so good. He wasn't good enough to be at Tennessee. Thanks, whoever's like, how are y'all in charge of a multi-billion-dollar business? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, you inherited it. That's right. Now I remember. Anyway,
we're getting Britton on a rant, ladies and gentlemen.
We
got him fired up.
Never mind. So I want Vrabel to win, but I don't think Derek May can overcome the Legion of Doom. What do you say, Mike V?
I'm with you on that, dude. Yeah, defense wins championships. That's what they say, at least. But I'm rooting for Sam Darnold, the underdog. Got a lot of shit. Plus, our good buddy Sam Wershing, for those of you guys who don't know, is a Seattle native and big Seahawks guy. So
done deal.
I'd like to see our buddy Sam get a Super Bowl this year, Britton. So,
all right, look, I know this is a fantasy baseball podcast, Mike V, but I'm going to make I quit gambling, as you know.
Do I? Do I know that?
But there is one bet I'm going to make. I'm going to roll up Seattle -6.5 to get the money even, and then unload on that. So it's Miami. I'm going to the Seahawks -6.5. So I'm going to get it up there because I think they're going to bulldoze the Patriots. What do you think?
I want a good game, honestly. I do. I don't bet I might bet the over under, but I don't bet the spreads in these games. I take a lot of prop bets as well. Like I think it was the San Francisco game when they were in the Super Bowl. I bet that they'd hit the upright and that paid out like stupid money. So like I take all the crazy bets.
What
like,
a fun, great bet.
Yeah.
You mean you bet on a doink?
Yeah, I bet on a doink, and it was fun. So
why not?
We got questions pouring in here, Britton. But before we do that, and I promise we'll get here. Gove went to the liberty of getting my favorite clip for fantasy baseball, one of my favorite clips. I wouldn't say it's my favorite clip, but I do love it. So we're gonna play it right now for everybody.
Carlos Delgado.
Excellent choice. Too bad I got him 3 rounds ago.
You're still on the clock.
Oh shit!
You gotta do something.
Hideki Matsui.
You just took my whole outfield.
Sorry, Charlie.
What is this?
Debbie,
What the fuck is this?
it's our fantasy baseball draft.
We said no wives.
Your fantasy what?
It's our draft. The fantasy baseball. I told you all about this. Got Matsui.
Absolutely goated right there. Thank you, Michael Govier, for doing that.
Do you think it's worse when she realized that my husband isn't cheating on me with a young, hot woman, my husband's cheating on me with a bunch of loser fantasy baseball guys. Like, I'm not sure which in
Is
a
worse.
female mind that may actually be worse.
That's
Because
live.
she can understand the hot woman. She can't understand the
Yeah.
loser. Like, why would you choose the loser guys over me? You know?
Right. That's a live footage of Mike Virginia later in life when my wife walks in on me wearing all my Orioles gear and is sneaking out to go draft fantasy baseball teams.
Hey, by the way, was that Bob Odenkirk reading manning the board? It looked like.
I don't know. I have to take a look. That'd be really funny if it was.
I think that was
huge
Bob Odenkirk.
We'll take a look at it later in the show.
All right.
All right. Joe G wants to know, Britton, Luis Robert or Randy Arozarena in a 12-team mixed roto. I know we all know how Britton feels about Luis Robert, but for those of you guys who don't know or living under a rock, he just no longer plays for the Chicago White Sox. He's on the Mets. Randy Arozarena in the Seattle Mariners. Britton, I think I know your answer to this, but who are you taking here?
All right. I don't want to be too predictable, Mike V, but just hear me out. It's going to be Randy Arozarena, and because he's going to hit at the top of the Mariners order. And at the top of the Mariners order, you've got Brandon Donovan, you've got Randy Arozarena, you've got Julio Rodriguez, you've got Cal Raleigh, you've got good hitters. Luis Robert Jr., he may be good. He may have a bounce back, but he's going to be hitting at the bottom of the order. Yeah. Luis Robert Jr. is going to be hitting 7th or 8th. He's not cracking that Mets top of the top 5. So give me Randy Arozarena, who went 25 last year, maybe 30. So so
he went 27 home runs, 31 stolen bases, 238 average, and 95 runs scored. So always good to hit in front of a guy like Cal Raleigh, the big dumper as well. So, but you guys can see on the screen here,
it's kind of a no-brainer for me on that one, just because of where they hit.
Yeah, agreed. And Britton has talked about it multiple times on this show. If you hit in the top half of the order, that's fantasy gold, baby. So something to take a look at. Yep.
It's math. It's not my opinion. It's
Science.
Math. Plate appearances equal more fantasy stats. It's that simple.
Yeah, Joe, I'd probably go Randy Arozarena here, even though I love Luis Robert. They kind of very similar to me. They both steal bases. They both have pop. But Randy Arozarena has been the healthier one of the two, and he's going to be hitting at the top of that lineup in front of guys like Julio and Cal Raleigh. I am concerned a little bit with the whiff percentage and the K percentage here and his low batting average. And you can see the year before he hit 219. So just make sure you address that. Either way you go there later on in drafts or even beginning of your draft, you have a guy that can kind of stabilize that batting average. But we hope Randy can get back up into the 250s, 260s. So,
oh my God, everything you said was wrong. No offense, Mike V. But Randy Arozarena has been like super consistent, over 20 home runs, over stolen bases. Luis Roberts consistently under 20 home runs. Like they're not even remotely close to the same. What are you talking about?
In terms of power,
no, not in terms of power. They're not the same in terms of power.
Well, look at it from this. Hang on. So we've seen 38 homer pop from Luis Robert before. Right. But hear me out. Because we know that he has the potential to do so, even though it's only been once and he hasn't played in a whole lot of games since then. But if you are buying the age 28, which is something that people always strive for here, Britton, the age 28 breakout season for Luis Robert in New York, in terms of where they're gonna have lower batting averages. They should have decent pop. Again, Randy Arozarena only hit 20 something last year, right? Like it wasn't like.
Yeah. So, but more than Luis Robert Jr., right?
Yeah. But before he had 23, 20. So like, I think Randy Arozarena hitting it in Seattle, I think he probably regresses back to that 20 to 25 homer range. I think Luis Robert can easily get there and steal you 30 bases just like Randy does. And they're both going to give you a 230, 240 batting average. So that's what I meant by in terms of somewhat similar.
I love it. Time for our first board bet. Of the year. And I don't even like Randy Arozarena, but I know one thing: he's going to be a whole lot better than Luis.
All right,
or Luis Robert Jr.
All right. Here's a good one. Here's a good one, Britton. ATX 61923 says the single player, be it hitter or pitcher, that you just will not draft for any reason. Well, we already know Britton's answer to this one with Luis Robert. Doesn't sound like he's touching that one with the 40-foot pole, but Britton, I will push it over to you here since you've drafted a lot of leagues so far. Who is a hitter or a pitcher that you have finally or that you've seen constantly fall to you in drafts that you just will not hit the draft button on?
That's a great question. And we joke about Luis Robert Jr. and there's always a place to draft a player. I just won't draft Lou Bob where he's being drafted.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to draft Spencer Strider this year. And because I watched a lot of his games last year, and I know he's a year removed, everything is off with Spencer Strider, starting pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. And I wouldn't say I'm not going to draft for any reason, but I watched him pitch last year, and he can fix stuff, but he's basically a two-pitch pitcher at this point. I don't know. It's not that I won't draft him, but I'm not going to draft him. I'm just not. I'd rather have Nolan McLean, Trey Savage, Cam Schittler, Gavin Williams. I can think of like 6 or 7 other players that I would rather draft that are starting pitchers, young pitchers with upside. So Spencer Strider, look, he was awesome. He had that cool mustache, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And I hope he proves me wrong. But here's the thing about Spencer Strider. He's had 2 elbow surgeries. One was Tommy John in 2019. The other one was the brace procedure. So he's had Tommy John on his elbow plus the brace procedure. And then last year is when he came back. Now, is it medically possible for him to get better as those procedures go on? Sure. I don't think so. I watched him pitch. I think he's hanging on by a thread. So Spencer Strider is my guy. I'm sorry. I like Spencer Strider, but to answer the man's question, yeah, Spencer Strider is the player that boomed a couple years, but I think you got to, look towards the future, look towards other players. That's what I would say.
That breaks my heart because he was one of my first pitchers off the board for Pallazzo. So I'm hoping he does prove you wrong.
No offense, man.
So
I mean,
it's all good.
He could be superhuman. I don't know.
Yeah. The guy that I'm not touching here, ATX, and a little bit of a hot take, if you will, already. I'm not drafting Pete Crow Armstrong. After the second half that he had last year, a lot of people, and rightfully so, are going to be buying in on the fact that he had a great first half and maybe he figures it out. He looked absolutely lost at the plate in the second half for Pete Crow Armstrong. Britton, we weren't talking about a bad month. We were talking about multiple bad months with an S.
Terrible. Yes.
Absolutely terrible. So I don't know if I'm willing to pay the high draft price. You get a good power speed guy, don't get me wrong. But he's going to have to improve on his plate discipline big time if he's going to want to deliver anywhere near that draft price or price tag that you're going to be having to draft him at. And again, 4.5% walk percentage, that ranks in the 4th percentile of all of major league hitters in baseball. And his chase percentage was 41.7%. He strikes out a lot. He is not patient. He's going to have to change his approach. Even with that, Britton, he went 30-30. He had 31 home runs and 35 stolen bases. But a lot of that damage came in the first half. So, which was just an absolute torrid streak that he had. It was a great fantasy asset. But I'm not willing to pay that draft price. So he's a guy that I will not reach on. I will not pay the draft price for. But to Britton's point, I want to make this clear for both him and I. When people say do not draft, that's not necessarily saying we're not drafting them. It's just at their current price tag, we're not touching them at that spot. If they fall maybe 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 rounds later after that, we'll consider it. But for me at least, I'm going to make that clear. I will not be drafting Pete Crow Armstrong at his draft price. So
totally understand, and everything you're saying is true. So in order to draft PCA in the 3rd round, you have to be a believer and believe that he's like a motor guy, and he's going to at some point it's going to impute in his brain what the strike zone is.
I would hope.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope he figures it out. He's great for baseball too. He's got a good power speed combo. I love watching him. He's got high energy, good motor. Love it.
You love elite defense too. I mean,
oh yeah.
that's a big thing, and so he's going to play center field every day for the Cubs, not being injured,
Yep.
and his motor is 1,000%. But I get it. You can't swing like that. Be a free swinger like he's like Christopher Morel. You can't be a free swinger in Chicago. But yeah, I mean all those concerns are absolutely correct.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's just going to have to improve plate discipline. If he can do that and he adjusts back to the league, we could be looking at a top 2-round player again. So Jordan Earhart 217 Britton wants to know 12-team head-to-head 5x5 Cats keeper league. He can keep any 4 and then draft. Who are we keeping out of Ellie De La Cruz, Cal Raleigh, Logan Webb, Hunter Green, Bryce Harper, and Jackson Merrill?
What a great question. Those are great names.
Yeah, Jordan, this is probably maybe if you can help us out with the info. Do you have to keep them in any particular round? How long do you get to keep them for? Like, is this like a traditional dynasty league where you can keep them forever? Is there like a year limit that you can keep these guys on? Because I think where you're drafting them at and what round matters. I know you said then draft, so just make that a little bit clear.
Let's just say in a vacuum, just
okay.
Which one of these you've got these players keep 4. I would 100% go Ellie, Cal, Morrell, and Green, Hunter Green. So I go Ellie De La Cruz, Cal Raleigh, Hunter Green, and Jackson Merrill. What do you say there, Mike V?
I'm with you on that, Big Daddy. I think I'd like Ellie too. I was very much in love with Ellie last year, and I kept falling out of love with Ellie.
What? You can't fall out in love with Ellie?
Same thing with Pete Crow Armstrong, man. He's got such great talent, but he's got to improve the plate discipline. He swings and misses too much for me.
He improved.
Yeah,
he did.
I'll probably still go Ellie just for the upside. He could probably win you stolen bases in that category league there, Jordan. So by himself. So I'd go Ellie. Yeah, I'd go Ellie, Cal, Hunter Green, and it's a mix here between like. I would love to have Logan Webb and Hunter Green back to back. I think that's a great build with 2 starting pitchers, but I'm with Britton. I like Jackson Merrill as a bounce back this year too. So can't go wrong with either. I think we're both in on Ellie, Cal, and Green, but it's a toss up for me for Webb and Merrill.
Hey, and just on a side note, Mike V, as Uncle Ted brings up in the chat, shout out Uncle Ted. Happy to have you here. I love Jackson Merrill as a bounce back player this year. Rough year, injuries, like things piled up, but Jackson Merrill for the San Diego Padres, like he was open about it, he was honest about it. When he finally got over these injuries at the end of the year, Jackson Merrill was elite. So I think that's going to push him forward. Like he's just too talented. He's going to hit like 1, 2, or 3 in front of the Padres with Fernando Tatis and all these talented players. Like, I just don't want people to give up on Jackson Merrill just yet. I know last year was tough, but I think Uncle Ted makes a good point. Like, there were injuries and things that happened during the course of the year that I think are going to get figured out. So I think that's my bounce back player for the year that I'm investing every 6th round pick I can get.
I love it.
Is reach for Jackson Merrill. It was a tough year last year. I get it. Tough year, but this is the year you want to buy back on a player that young and that talented who's going to be hitting with Manny Machado. Like, you think Manny Machado's not helping that guy out? Like
Fernando Tatis,
Roman Laureano, like all these veterans. I think it's a really good situation in San Diego this year. Michael King as their SP1. Like, I'm into it. So long story short, Jackson Merrill I think is a great buy low, not buy low because you're still like giving a 6 round pick, but
he was being drafted in the second. He was being drafted in the second last year, I believe. So you are getting a discount. So I agree with you on that wholeheartedly with Jackson Merrill for sure. Yep. Injuries is just too much. Uncle Ted also says Strider also has 275K upside. We'll see there, Uncle Ted. I had a good question in here also, Britton. I want to bring this up. This was a good question. Any pitchers worthy of a 1st round pick this year? Joe Smoot, I think is how you say your name. I don't think I've seen you here before, but
Joe Smooth.
Make sure you like and subscribe. Smooth. I can't believe I said smooth. I'm an idiot. Make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, dude. Would greatly appreciate it. But pitchers, it depends on league format and if it's scoring, all that good stuff. But I think the two consensus obviously are Paul Skeens and Tarek Skubal, right? Britton, I don't think there's anybody else in the first round, depending on maybe Garrett Crochet in the first if you're playing in a 15 team or deeper. But any thoughts there outside of those three?
I love grabbing one of these. These are elite pitchers. In years past, maybe you've had like Garrett Cole or, Shane Bieber or, but these three pitchers, like Tarek Skubal has won the Cy Young, like 200 innings plus 200 Ks plus whip ERA. Like how that filters down to the rest of your staff is immeasurable, how good it is. So yes, I think Tarek Skubal, he's young, he's fiery. I think he's 100% worth a first round pick, no matter what your points 100% in Roto even too. But Skeens is the same way, and Garrett Crochet, go Vols, but Garrett Crochet is the same way too. Like these are guys that it sucks pitching or picking a pitcher because you're like, oh, but I want Julio Rodriguez, and like I get all that, but picking one of those pitchers in my old age, Mike V, after all these years of being the guy that just picks hitter, and then Hunter Green, like it doesn't work out. It just doesn't. Hitter, Logan Webb, it doesn't work out. Do Tarek Skubal, somebody, and then it works out. That's my piece.
Lock it in. Yeah, I am still going to be the stubborn mule and never draft a pitcher in the first round. It's one I'm gonna get it tattooed on my body somewhere, dude. I think as long as I've been playing fantasy baseball, I don't think I've ever taken a pitcher in the first round ever. So why start now? So
hey, you know what? There's one way to end this. Not one way, but one way to end this debate is that we can see the results.
Are we bringing up?
We can see the result. Do you see this, Mike V? Is it on the screen?
I do. Yeah.
All right. So Mike V is team 6. Ramirez, Churio, great picks. Effing great, by the way.
Thank you.
And Diaz and Hader's not a great pick, but whatever. We'll move past that. Anyway, so then you look at me, team 13, Skeen Sanchez. So we're going to find it. We're going to ace pocket aces.
Yeah.
And then Mr. V over here went the best third baseman in the league and one of the best outfielders in the league. So we're going to find out real quick.
We will.
What the deal is. I'm looking forward to it. Can we take another look? Brent Rooker, seriously.
Love him.
Hands off. He's my guy.
I know.
Hands off. You did it anyway. That's fine. Yeah. Trey is savage.
That's right.
You animal.
I went double on the catchers there with Rushman and Alejandro Kirk. Had to go there. And it's funny because I learned something from, for those of you guys who are watching, I learned something from Britton and Gove all the time too. And I'm not necessarily a draft and hold guy. So we were talking about this the other day in terms of you got to get closers and you got to get catchers in these leagues, right? So I tried to do that. And mind you, I would have rather had a Hunter Goodman or, some of these other guys that are being, I wasn't going to draft Cal Raleigh, but some of these other guys, Shea Langs, I wanted him so bad, but couldn't pull the trigger on him. So.
I love your draft. It's fantastic. I love that you picked two closers early.
Yep,
that's key. I'm ashamed of you for picking Trey Savage.
I got a lot of question marks
because that was my guy.
I know
that was my guy.
I like him too, but I know that you like him better than I or more than I.
Yeah, but if I like him, you're not allowed to like him. I mean, that's
right.
How,
yeah,
that's how it works. It's like we're mean girls at the mall. Like you're not allowed to like that guy.
Right. I have question marks on the SPs because with Strider and Glass now, obviously some injury concerns and Trevor Rogers. But I think this is a great build in terms of just upside. So if I can get Strider, Glass now, and Savage and Rogers all pitching well, I think on top of my hitting and 2 elite closers, it's a lot of injury risk, but there's a lot of upside with this as well. So a lot of things got to work well for me to get to the top. So,
well, that was a lot of fun. So a lot of fun things happened during that draft.
Yeah.
Mike V showed his true self. Picking 2 elite closers before a starting pitcher and bullying one of our fans apparently about using the clock
too long
that they're entitled to use. So
yeah, get out of here.
It was I always anytime I have interactions with Mike V, I learn new things. So
right.
That's always great.
Michael Mortensen, 5730. Love the avatar there with Black Panther. He wants to know Dalton Varsho or Colton Cowser in a draft and hold. I'm on deck and have this choice coming up. Who you got here, Britton?
I'm not a Dalton Varsho fan, so I'm going to pick Colton Cowser twice, 7 days a week, twice on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one as well. Cowser should sit against some lefties. He was really bad against lefties last year, but was also really banged up. So if he can stay healthy, I like him to take a next step. I've never been a Dalton Varsho guy. I don't think I've ever had him anywhere. So
the batting average is a killer. It's just,
he sucks.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, but again, I think if Cowser is healthy this year in that Orioles lineup and they all start hitting better, I think this is a good pick there. Another guy like Jackson Merrill, I think you can get cheap. So,
and you have to remember there's a group of people in Baltimore where Mike V lives that dress up as cows. Now these are grown men and women.
That's true.
That dress up as cows and come to the Camden Yards ballpark. They don't call it now, but they call it something else. But they come and they go to the cow park.
That's right.
I don't
moo when he comes up.
What do they do?
Moo.
No, they go like this. Maybe they go.
Oh, there you go. That's a deep one. I
know, right? That's years of cigarettes and nicotine right there. Hey, did you feel that tar?
I did. I'm surprised smoke didn't come up.
I tarred that up. I think you just got lung cancer like me through the screen. Video.
ATX has another question, Britton. He says your favorite later round 4th or 5th outfielder player.
Oh, that's a great question.
I made a tweet on this earlier today, ATX, so make sure you go check that out. My 5 favorite outfielder picks after pick 100. On that was Kyle Stowers, Jacob Marcy, Luis Robert was on that list as well. And then I can't remember who the other person I picked on that. I have to go back and look, but I love Kyle Stowers. And I think he's a guy that people are sleeping on. Again, I think that the helium kind of dropped out of him because of the injuries that he faced later on in the season. Big pop. I think he takes another big step here. So I love Kyle Stowers this year. And I love Jacob Marcy. I think this is Pete Crow Armstrong that you can get much later in drafts. So Uncle Ted actually even said it too. So shout out for that. Again, Jacob Marcy, not nearly as good as a power hitter as Pete Crow Armstrong, but elite speed. So, and going to be hitting at the top of that lineup for sure, which I think, Britton, it's going to be a sneaky lineup there in Miami. I think it's better than people think, and just the team in general. But anybody that you like 4th or 5th outfielder?
I want to reinforce that idea. I think everybody needs to draft Jacob Marcy.
I agreed.
It's Jacob with a K, J-A-K, Jacob. Marsee. I think he's going to be in contention for the most plate appearances for any player in Major League Baseball. I think Jacob Marcy is going to be a player that you're going to get way past pick 100 that's going to provide counting stats every single day. So on a team like the Miami Marlins that, that are motivated to play their players and go for it, no fooling around.
Mm-hmm.
I like Jacob Marcy a lot. I think he's a player that I target every single draft. And Kyle Stowers too, not to hit Miami too much, not to hit too many Marlins players, but Kyle Stowers was a revelation. So Marcy is more contact hit, batting average, stolen bases, runs. Kyle Stowers is power, and he showed that last year. You show it, you own it. I love Kyle Stowers. I'm trying to think of another one that's post one. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Addison Barger, who I believe you were in on last year as well, and called before he started going out, going nuts there for Toronto. Good lineup, even them falling flat on the Kyle Tucker side of things. I like Barger a lot. I think he's got really, really good power to the left side. And I'm actually going to bring up his Statcast, Britton, because this is where I fell in love with him and why I made him a target of mine, or will be a target of mine moving forward. But you can see here, right? Like you see the chase and whiff and K percentage, not ideal, but look at the sea of red up here. That hard hit percentage, that bat speed, 21 home runs and limited action there for the Blue Jays. I think this is a guy that you can get much later in drafts and can still have 20 to 30 homer pop. You got to hope that batting average stabilizes, get up a little bit with that 250, and he gets a little bit more patient at the plate. But for power wise, this might be like a Kyle Stowers, and I know he plays third base here on this page, but he is an outfield eligible as well. So
he's their third baseman. Is he not the starting third baseman for the Toronto Blue Jays?
But he's outfield eligible as well.
So, totally agree. Yeah. But what I'm saying as far as playing timing goes, he is their third baseman.
Yep.
So Addison Barger, who ended the year hot, was pivotal in the playoffs. He is staying. One of my favorite players was Moises Ballesteros in the playoffs when the Brewers were playing the Cubs. It was like game 2 or something. The bases were loaded. Moises Ballesteros came up, bases loaded, and nailed a double down the line, cleared the bases. Now, the Cubs ended up losing the game, not his fault. But I'm like, stuff like that matters. And Addison Barger performed during the playoffs. Moises Ballesteros for the Cubs performed during the playoffs. Like, that stuff matters to management and to the people like in charge of playing time and stuff down the road. So Addison Barger, to your point, is a great pick. Third base and outfield eligible. That's awesome.
Yeah, agreed. Anthony says, hey guys, I'm in an AL only and I have Judge, J-Ram, Witt, holy hell, Okamoto, Wu, Kirk, and Trevor Rogers, but I only have $46 for 15 spots. How much are each of these guys going for, Anthony? I mean, I imagine Judge, J-Ram, and Witt are all going to be worth big money. So I'm confused.
Yeah, $46 for 15 spots. I mean, I'm not going to break out the old calculator.
Yeah, but, it's too much. It's hurting my head now already.
Yeah, that seems like a difficult situation. Now, I see in our chat, they're like, Okimoto, like, I get that for third base for the Blue Jays. So, people are saying that Addison Barger is going to be a bench bat.
No.
Maybe.
Barger's not a bench bat, dude.
Maybe.
He's not a bench bat.
We'll see. I know they signed him, but the deal wasn't like a Shohei Ohtani deal. He's never played in the major leagues and Major League Baseball. Like, I get that. And I know it's on roster resource. Got it. But I'm not 1,000% sure that how it's all going to end up. But long story short, I'm a believer in Addison Barger. I'm not so much of a believer in a guy that's never hit Major League Baseball, played Major League Baseball before. That's just me.
Yeah, roster resource says Barger batting second. He's not a bench bat. He'll play some right field. He'll play third base as well. But I'm with Britton too. Like, he'll get some shots everywhere. He could be their third baseman as well. But yeah, he's not a bench bat. He'll be their starting right fielder. And then they got Anthony Santander in left. He could play some right field as well, so they could interchange. And then they got Springer in center. So I don't think he's a bench bat. He'll play. His bat's too good to leave out.
Can I address one thing, Uncle Ted? I love you. I think you're awesome. I love how you mix it up. But Akimoto was good enough for them to let Bichette walk. Bichette wasn't that good, brother. He wasn't. Empty batting average. Of course they let him walk and get some other sucker go pay big money for that. He's mid. He is mid. He's always been mid. If his last name were Jones, Joey Bichette Jones. No, look at his numbers. He was never good. Always injured, never good. I take issue with that, Uncle Ted.
I don't like Bo Bichette either in Toronto. I didn't like him last year, but I am in on him this year, Britton. I'm hoping that, again, I'm really big on the Mets this year. I think the Mets lineup is going to be fantasy gold for a lot of players. They just got to be able to stay healthy.
Who's your favorite player there? I mean, obviously you've got Lindor, Soto.
Love Lindor, yeah.
Bichette.
Outside of those guys, you mean?
Yeah, like Vientos, Beatty, like I mean, is there anybody on there that you're like Jorge Polanco? I mean, this sounds like the most overdone cake that you think is going to be good, and it just
I just love changing the scenery, guys. Like I love drafting Marcus Semien late. I don't think you're going to get Marcus Semien of old, but I still think he can provide value in that lineup, especially with guys like Lindor and Soto getting on in front of him.
Marcus Semien.
Yeah. Yep. I love changing scenery, guys. Look at it this way. Here's the thing. I'm not drafting him as my starting second baseman. I think I did in Pallazzo though. But in standard 12-team formats like that for me he'll be a bench bat. It's worth taking a flyer on. Let me ask you this question. Would you take the proven commodity and just down year of Marcus Semien last year, or would you take a guy like Matt McLean if both of those guys are on the board?
No, I'd take Semien. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I would too. But yeah, I think a lot. I'm not excited about Jorge Polanco. I think the Mets lineup again, if these guys can stay healthy, like a Robert, Bichette, Semien, if those guys can all stay healthy, they're a little bit older than they were, but I think it's a good lineup. I think they're deeper this year because once you got past Alonso, there was nobody else in that lineup that could hit worth a damn. So I think they got deeper in the lineup in free agency and in the trades there. So I don't know. The Mets for me are a team to look out for.
The Mets are going to be the most fun team to watch.
Yeah,
because you've got Lindor beefing with Soto. They don't like each other. I
forgot about that. Yeah,
you've got Jorge Polanco, who's like overpaid mid. He hit 22 home runs last year. Great, let's sign him for $40 million.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I know, right? And then it's like Luis Robert Jr., who's had one good year in 6.
But
who's like a malcontent. Yeah, so it's just going to be a wild, mix.
It'll be a wild ride.
You know what it is? Have you ever been to New Orleans before, Mike V?
Once, and I'll never go back.
All right. If you ever go to Silky O'Sullivan's in New Orleans, they have this drink, and they pick up all the alcohol and all the beer and all the stuff that like half filled that people left, and they pour it in they pour it in a bucket. And then they give people straws to drink all the alcohol that was left over from people's drinks. That's the New York Mets.
Oof, man. Now I'm feeling bad. I don't know if this is true. Uncle Ted says Semien hit 40 outs in Globe Life last year. That would have been home runs in New York. So 40 of those outs would have been home run. He would have been a 40 homer bat. Is that what we're talking about?
Can I see some science on that?
Yeah, that's a 40 homer bat there. Yeah, here's the thing too. Like, I agree with you in an extent that this could go really. You know what the Mets remind me of? They remind me a lot like my Pallazzo Invitational League, my team that I drafted. It's either going to be really good or it's going to be really shit. There's going to be no in between. But again, I know you don't like Luis Robert, and I know he's only had one good season out of that. But Britton, if he plays 140 games this year, what do you think the upside for a guy like Luis Robert could look like?
25, 35 with a 240. Okay. That's his peak, right?
Yeah.
25 home runs with 35 stolen bases and a 245 average. That would be like a Willy Wonka. You get the golden ticket. Or you do the thing and it's like, oh, I won the Powerball. Sweet.
That's right.
You know what's going to happen? 13 home runs, 25 stolen bases, and a
220 average.
A 213 average. That's what's going to happen. because he was the big dog in Chicago.
Yeah.
Now he's not the big. He's going to be treated like the last guy on the bus with Soto and dude.
Don't you think that'll do him some
and
good?
Bichette, he's going to bomb out. I can see this coming a mile away.
We got to put some
bomb
over-unders
out.
on this. Yeah. The thing with him with Robert too, and I understand your point, but that actually might do him some good because I said it last year. If you go
Not
back
at
to
his age,
hang
he's
on,
not
listen.
22.
How old is
He's
he?
28.
That's what I'm saying. 28's a good season for. Is it the 27 or I think it's 27 that everybody always glamours over the age 27 season, but at that age is still prime time Luis Robert, right? Like we're not talking like I don't think we see a repeat of that one good year that he did have, but I think what you just said in terms of if he plays 140 games is well within the possibility of him. He just got to stay on the field, and the shit field or I said it last year with the White Sox, that dark cloud that hangs over. Nobody wants to play for Chicago and wants to be motivated to go out there and get your ass kicked every day. Now that he's in New York, there's no pressure on him.
No pressure in New York. No pressure at the Mets where they analyze every single second of your life. No pressure like that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Mike V, I love you. Your take is completely wrong. It really is. Now,
we got to set some over-unders.
Dude, I get it because you're trying to make this work in your brain. But from an objective person standpoint, you're in New York City with Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor. They're not putting up with your little girly,
But listen to this.
Dude,
part,
he's not going to be on the team by June. They're going to DFA him because they're going to DFA.
That's a hot take.
Little low, Luis Robert Jr.
Would you go Britton Doyle?
I don't get my playing time.
Would you go Britton Doyle over Luis Robert?
100%. Sign me up. Where's the dotted line? Give me Britton Doyle.
For you to sign on. All right, there you
100%.
go. Hey, fun fact. I didn't know this until literally yesterday. He actually went to high school right down the street from me, probably like 30 minutes. Yeah, and he got his jersey. He got his jersey retired over the weekend or 2 weekends ago.
I'm rooting
with
for
my
him.
my old pitching coach from high school was in the picture with him. That's how I knew that he went there. I'm like, wait a minute, Britton Doyle went to school in Virginia, which is cool. So, but give me Britton Doyle here too. This is a Rockies podcast. I love.
You got to pick a rock.
Visit Rizza Jizza says that's it. Mute Britton's mic.
I'm not opposed to that, frankly. Right. But before we do that, Rizza Jizza. Let's pick one Rockies hitter that we think is going to take off this year.
My guy.
If you pick Jordan Beck, that's an issue. What do you think?
Is it
Jordan
Beck? I said it on one of our first podcasts. I both said him was Jordan Beck when we did the hot stove show. I believe we both said Jordan Beck.
I'm going to go Jake McCarthy.
Ooh, I do
trade
love that
from
too.
Arizona. Jake McCarthy. I think he's going to shine with his speed out there, hitting singles.
I like that.
Yeah. I'm going
I
Jake.
like that a lot.
Yeah. I think he's my guy.
The other guy that people were big on, which I'm not, is Edouard Julien of
Minnesota.
The guy sucks. We just need to let that go. He can't hit.
He's just not a good hitter.
No, He sucks. He can't hit. Everyone thinks that Coors is going to turn him into a better one. Maybe maybe some balls fly out or he whatever. But they'll be looking for a new second baseman. I think you'll see the Amador come up at some point to play second base. But yeah, they're not going to be very patient with Edouard Julien. Whatever happened to Tyro Estrada? Wasn't he with the Rockies too? And then did he ever sign back
a contract and then got hurt? And then he just, I guess they paid off his contract and said, "Don't come back."
Yeah. But every year, for those of you guys who don't know or are new here and watching us, every year, if you guys have watched the trends with the Rockies, it was one year it was Nolan Jones. Then the next year it was Britton Doyle. Last year it was Hunter Goodman. So next year it's got to be somebody else. So Britton and I are on the record. We both like Jordan Beck, and Jake McCarthy is also a phenomenal pick by Britton. Like the speed there. So.
Wait a minute, I do like that, but I'm gonna have to switch, Mike V.
Okay.
Ezekiel Tovar had a rough year last year. He's 24 years old. going
Still
into
young.
this year. I'm all in on Ezekiel Tovar. His hard hit metrics are awesome. Forget last year. He's going to bat leadoff for the Rockies every single game. All right. Mike V. Ezekiel Tovar is our Rockies official player, other than Jordan Beck, who, go Vols, obviously. But
There you go.
what do you
I
think?
like Tovar too, man. Like he's kind of like reminds me a little bit of like the post hype guy. Like we've been waiting for this guy to come on. But like last year, he didn't have a good season because he was hurt. But even in his game where he had 695 plate appearances, he gave us 26 home runs, which is great. I would have loved to see a little bit more speed out of him. But if you can get your shortstop to hit 270 with 26 home runs and score 83 runs, Britton, you'll take that every day, right?
He's like Willie Adamas Light.
That's
Let's
great.
do
Great
it.
comp. Great comp.
Yeah.
The hard hit metrics for him weren't great, and his plate discipline wasn't great last year.
Not last year, Mike V. I
yeah.
get that, but the year before that, they were elite. Got to give this guy some helium. Ezekiel Tovar for the Colorado Rockies is going to have a big year this year. I'm planting the flag. Mike V.
Okay.
Oh, I just hit my mic. Hold on. Hey, look at this. This is a flag. Look at this.
You planted it on Tovar, buddy.
I just planted it on my Radio Shack microphone.
Coors.
Love it.
Ezekiel Tovar is going to have a bust out season. What do you think, Uncle Ted? You
our
with
fantasy
me,
baseball
Jordan,
It's
Anthony?
our fantasy baseball draft. It's our fantasy baseball draft.
Sorry, I did not mean to keep playing that. Yeah.
I think you love that. All right, let's break that down for a second.
Yeah.
I think you love it, Mike V, because he's wearing Orioles stuff. So you identify.
Yeah, that's after the fact. That is cool, but that's after the fact. My brother and I quote that movie all the time. When we talk about, when we tell our wives, it's both with fantasy football and fantasy baseball. They'll be like, "Are you serious? You can't go to dinner because you have a fantasy draft?" I'm like,
I like Spider-Man. It's not
That's
about
actually really
Spider-Man.
good.
It's about me not being around you. No offense.
Oh, this is one of my favorite Rockies of all time, Carlos Gonzalez.
Oh, he's the worst. Yeah.
Oh, I loved him, dude. You didn't like him
he's
in Colorado?
terrible. No, I didn't.
What?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Overrated.
I loved him, man. I loved him.
What
so
about
much.
Charlie Blackmon? You remember him?
I loved him, dude. Loved Charlie Blackmon. I loved him.
He had that beard,
yeah.
like ZZ Top.
I love Chuck. I love him. I loved Tulo. I loved Cargo.
Oh, too low, yeah.
Garrett Atkins. I don't know if you remember him.
I do.
The third baseman. Matt Holliday, obviously. So,
Man, it is tough out there in Colorado. It is
dude.
tough.
But they made it to the World Series that year.
Carlos Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Like, you can be so good and it just doesn't matter. Like
Brad Hawk, that was another
all
one.
your goodness it's just into a void in Colorado and no one cares or anything.
2007, they made it to the World Series and got swept by the Red Sox, and they were called the improbable Rocktober stretch. So maybe we get another Rocktober out of Colorado.
Hey, do you remember who the name of the Colorado mascot is?
Oh,
Mike
shit.
Mike Govier worked at Colorado.
I do know this, man, but I can't remember. I cannot remember it.
Dinger.
Did you say it? Dinger. Yeah, that's what it is.
That's right.
There you go. All right, Britton. Looks like we don't have any more questions in the live chat. But before we get off, I do want to make a couple announcements really quick, if we could. For those of you guys who joined late, please make sure that you guys go on and register for the Pallazzo Podcast Invitational. Again, it's a 15-team draft and hold 5x5 roto. Check it out. We're trying to get 6 leagues this year. League 1 has already drafted. I think League 2 has already is full now, or close to being full, if I'm not mistaken. But make sure you guys do that. And then secondly, please make sure that you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave us a 5-star review in Apple Podcasts, wherever you get those. And then, Britton, I want to mention something else, too. It's the second annual jersey giveaway. So I am doing a jersey giveaway again this year. We will announce the winner on Bozo Fest, where I'll spin the wheel. And again, you got to be able to be here to win it. We had one guy last year who was actually in the Pallazzo Podcast Invitational, if I'm not mistaken. He won a Ronald Acuna jersey.
Acuna.
Yeah. He picked a Ronald Acuna jersey. I sent it to him so he can vouch. But make sure you guys go to my Twitter feed. It's at the pin tweet at the very top to enter. So, Britton, any stuff that has coming up on your end?
So I'm doing a live stream with Kevin Hastings from Pitcher List on February the 17th. We're live streaming a draft. So it's being published by the Pallazzo podcast. So please come out. We'll talk about it more as things get more settled, but we are doing live stream. It is draft season, Mike V.
Love it.
We are drafting all the time, and we're, providing all types of content. So please come check it out.
Yep. Joe says, are they weekly or daily moves leagues? Joe, it's draft and hold, brother. So there is no moves. You don't do weekly or daily. You don't do monthly. You don't make any moves. You draft your team and that's it. That's what you got. So it's a fun, different format. If you've never played, Joe, I highly suggest coming in and checking it out. I actually won my league the first year in the Pallazzo Podcast Invitational. So this is my third year doing it. So make sure you guys check it out. And Britton, speaking
Did y'all
of
notice how
flags,
Mike V always sneaks that in somehow? There's no reason to do it, but Mike V is always like, oh yeah. So anyway, I won that league that year.
Damn right.
So subtle, so smooth.
You want to know my plant my flag in that I'm doing right now? It's not a fantasy take, but you know what my plant my flag is going to be on?
What's that?
I'm going to win my TGFBI league this year. I am coming for the cake, brother. I am coming for it all.
Wait, are you going to make bench sit moves?
Oh yeah,
during the year.
I'm going to be.
What are you talking crazy? Who are
right.
you? I don't know you. Remember when Zach Waxman had to haze you to make moves?
Yes.
Oh, that was fun.
It was bad. That was really good.
But you're a changed man, is what you're saying. This year, you're going to do what's necessary.
That's 100%. I got to put my money where my mouth is, man. So, thank you guys very much for tuning in here to Britton and I. Again, check us out this Sunday. It'll be myself, Britton, and Michael Govier. We're going to be talking sleepers, Britton. We're going to be talking our favorite sleepers of the draft. So make sure you guys come in, take some notes, bring a notepad and some pen and paper, whatever you got to do, and check us out on Sunday at 12 p.m.
Must add,
exactly. Britton,
Hurston Waldrip.
Right. Ooh, don't give it away. We're going to end the show here, Britton. I know that it's not with Gove and it's not our traditional Friday show, but you know what? We're going to do it anyways.
I mean, there's one captain of a ship that I would follow into the ends of the earth, the far side of the world, as they say. England is our ship. England is home.
Right, lads. Now, I know there's not a faint heart among you. And I know you're as anxious as I am to get into close action. But we must bring him right up beside us before we spring this trap. That will test our nerve. And discipline will count just as much as courage. The Acheron is a tough nut to crack. More than twice our guns, more than twice our numbers. And they will sell their lives dearly. They mean to take us as a prize. And we are worth more to them undamaged. Their greed will be their downfall. England is under threat of invasion. And though we be on the far side of the world, this ship is our home. This ship is England. So it's every hand to his rope or gun, quick's the word and sharp's the action. After all, surprise is on our side. Right, lads.